Yo, good morning. Hope you are well, wherever you are, whatever the time. And this is the peak week vlog, day two. We are 5 days out. 5 days out today? God damn. 5 days out. 22nd of July. It is 25 past 5 in the morning. It's time for me to do check ins. So take some photos and also make the list for the day. And then I'll get into the office and show you the game plan. And as you can see, it's a pretty busy one today. So we're starting off with posing. I've got to then adjust my plan for the day with food, with steps, with all of that good stuff. We've got to finish the YouTube edit from yesterday, client messages, prep client check-ins. We got a lot to do today, but I'm ready to attack the day. So let's get after it. All right, cool. Check-in's done. So this morning I woke up at 93.7. So about a pound up from yesterday. I assume that's going to be down to just a little bit more food volume than what I had the day before. As I said to you in the last vlog, I'd been on my rest day food for 3 days in a row. So I'd been on 170 grams of carbs. Yesterday was 260. So just a slight bump up in body weight. I do believe I also weighed myself slightly earlier today as well. So yeah, that's the body weight this morning. 200. It's about 206.5 pounds. So pretty light. And I'll put up some photos as I'm talking through, but definitely just really flat, especially through the areas that are very strong of mine. As I said, I am the leanest I've ever been, but also I think to be able to express that more, there needs to be a lot more fullness. Now, my approach, just because I want predictability through my peak week, is I'm going to start trickling in more food and just allow myself to like watch what my body looks like as my body weight goes up. So I'm being very conservative, and I know these numbers are conservative because I've done refeeds, I've got loads of data to back what I'm doing from high days. I've done a lot of high days throughout this prep, and that's where obviously they come in handy. It's right now where I know, okay, how much carbs should I put in? Like I know how my body typically responds to a certain amount of food. Slightly different to how I've done it before, ever so slightly in terms of the macronutrient distribution. But today, game plan is 450 grams of carbs. So that's about 190 grams up on carbs yesterday. So it's not a load. It's not 1,000 grams of carbs. Not yet, anyway. Fats are down to 50 grams. And when I've had refeeds in the past, my fats have gone up to about 80, 75, 80 grams. So a little drop in fats just to make way for more carbohydrate and not increase my calorie load too much so I don't end up seeing a ridiculous spike in body weight. And then protein is actually 190 grams. 190 grams of protein. Throughout this prep, I've been consuming between 260 and 285. So a decent drop in protein as well. Again, just to make way for more carbohydrates and not take my calories from, say, 2,500 to 3,800 or 3,900. So total calories for the day is just over 3,000 or just shy of it, I think. Someone I'm sure will calculate it. But yeah, that's the game plan with food. And then water will go up a little bit. So I've been consuming about 6 liters a day. I'm going to bump that up to 7. I have noticed that my body does like having a little bit more water. It creates a much better look for me. It creates a much drier look for me, especially in the mornings when I'm having a lot more water. And as carbohydrates go up, you want that water to go up as well. So 7 liters of water. The only annoying thing is the polyuria that comes with it. Your boy is basically peeing every 45 minutes. Side note on that as well. When I was at my old job, because I was drinking so much water as well, obviously I had to time the water a little bit better. But I was basically doing delivery driving, right? So, and I was doing delivery driving over different parts of South Manchester. And in every single town that I was delivering to, I had like 2 or 3 dedicated spots to urinate in. Awful, like Woodland, or like if there was a service station, or like I just had certain little spots so that if I'm drinking my water, because I know I'm going to have to pee frequently, it's just got ridiculous. So now that I'm working from home, honestly, that's one of the biggest relievers. It's like I can just drink as much water as needed and not stress about finding somewhere to piss. Anyway, so also today with expenditure, cardio is 0. Steps are going to still be 10,000. So My legs have felt okay on 10,000. It's a little bit of a struggle, but it's honestly a big difference from 12K. 12K feels like a lot more than 10. So 10K, if I notice that I'm struggling to fill out a little bit or my legs just don't feel great, I'll probably drop that down to maybe 8. But honestly, my legs look really good doing this amount of steps and I like the activity. I think it's going to help with digestion. So we're going to keep 10K in. Posing today, I've just done my 2 rounds in the morning, which you would have seen by now. And then I'm also going to be doing some posing around midday or after a couple of meals. And then also before I go to bed as well, just to see what I look like and obviously associate those looks with body weight and see how I look as the day progresses as well. And if you are somebody who is obviously doing their own prep or you're coaching people, I definitely think collecting as they get towards the tail end, you haven't got to start doing this at 15 weeks out, but towards the tail end of their prep, maybe 2-3 weeks out, just get an idea as to how they look throughout the day. Like, is the look best in the morning? Is it best in the afternoon? Or is it best in the evening? Because then when it comes to planning their show day and planning their peak week or having an idea as to what to do with their food, you can kind of tailor that around their show day. So if you know they're on stage in the morning, and they look best in the morning, you pretty much carry on doing what you need to do, right? But if they're competing in the morning and they look best in the afternoon, you might just need to switch around how much food they have pre-stage or how much water they have. So just keeping an eye on your physique throughout the day is definitely a good idea. But yeah, excited for today, excited for the food we got lined up. So I'll also show you, once I start making it, the food that I'm going to be having today. It is just 5 meals, basically just a load of rice and some bagels. I've dropped down the veg intake. There is no vegetables in today's meal plan, and there's less protein, obviously. So, and I've got some Rice Krispies in there because they digest well. I love rice. I think every meal, I've got oats in there still as well, actually. Yeah, 4 of the meals are rice based. And again, rice is just so easy. I think you don't want to have every meal probably be oat based when you're carving up. It's a lot of fiber. I do still want to include some fruit in there just to help have a little bit of fiber, but I don't want an excessive amount to the point where it's causing discomfort in the gut, you know. There's fruit in there, there's no broccoli, and yeah, volume is pretty low. So I've gone for like raisins as well. I still have some blueberries in there, but raisins are there for low volume. And yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get on with meal 1 in a sec. But first I am gonna check in with prep clients and then we'll get back to it. I'll see you in a little bit. Let's get meal 1 locked and loaded. I just finished editing and uploading the video from yesterday. So that was yesterday's video, all done and sorted. The 6-day out vlog, and it's going up at midday. So each one of these vlogs will go up at midday. And I was debating whether or not to try and get it out a little bit earlier in the morning, but then people are probably at work, like midday, they usually have a break, right? So, and then obviously you can watch it the next day in the morning if you are doing anything like fasted cardio or whatnot. So that's all sorted, which is good. Also checked in with Alex, who is looking fantastic. He's actually currently on a diet break. He's away on holiday as well, but looks really good. He's currently about 9 weeks out from his show. So excellent look, excellent conditioning. He's actually in Romania as well. And I think I mentioned it in a vlog a while back that I actually wanted to go to one of his shows and travel, but Bryony is going to be competing on the same weekend that he's competing. And as much as I would love to travel internationally, I've got to be there for Bryony as well. So yeah, but he looks epic. Checked in with him this morning. I've also got to check in with Pratik, who is my Indian client, and he's competing in men's physique in October. He's in a really good spot. And he'll be a guy, honestly, when it comes to peaking, where we'll literally just get him ready really early, and then I'll just put his food up to like almost a maintenance level, and then we'll just coast into the show. There won't be any kind of back load or anything like that, or a front load. We'll literally just reverse this food up. So yeah, anyway, we got meal number one, which is going to be, let's check the sheet. It's going to be cream of rice, or ground rice, sorry. Not too much more. So today, damn. Ha, cool. So yeah, we're going to have 85 grams of ground rice. Dark chocolate will still be 20 grams. Whey protein will be down to 30 grams. We've got 15 grams of raisins, one bagel thin, and 20 grams of honey. So it's going to be the first meal of the day. Lovely. So only 450 grams of carbs today, but still a decent amount. Although I don't really want to eat this first meal, because I know as soon as I start eating, you just feel hungrier. That's how it goes with refeeds. As soon as you start putting food in, that's when your body's like, oh, you got food available to you. Like, so then why are you not eating more, bro? Eat more, eat more. Whereas when you just wake up, I feel really hungry in the morning when I wake up, but as soon as I've had a coffee and I've given it like an hour or an hour and a half, I could go until past midday and not eat. But as soon as I put in that first meal, your body's just like, whoa there, buddy. That ground rice is tasting pretty nice. How about you add an extra 60 grams? Right, so this is 85. It's honestly not too dissimilar to what I have typically been having. Just on rest days, it was 50 grams. But on training days, it was 90, because I was pulling carbs from other meals. So in terms of volume, it's not that drastically different. But then I fancied a bagel. So I was like, I'm going to put a bagel thin with that as well. Anyway, you don't need to watch me make a bagel and ground rice. It's not very exciting. So I'm going to make this meal, and then I'll give you the lowdown on the plan of action for the rest of the day. Ground rice, 85 grams of ground rice. We have 30 grams of whey, 20 grams of 90% dark chocolate with 15 grams of raisins. Salt, 3 grains of salt, that's not changing. That's exactly the same. I got another bottle of water, so I'll probably get that down, a little bit down whilst I'm eating, but then take most of that down once the food's settled a little bit. And then we have a bagel thin with 20 grams of honey. The goat, honey over jam all day, every day. So yeah, and just like clockwork as well, Pratik, who I mentioned earlier, Indian client, has checked in, and he looks absolutely fantastic. He looks great. He looks fantastic. Great look. So yeah, I need to get back to him for the plan of action, but things have honestly been pretty smooth sailing. I think what's been cool over this process, though, has been improving his training and his execution of movements. I think that's something that I really enjoy massively. It's just making slight tweaks to people's training and really getting deep into their training. And that's something that we've been working on a lot throughout this prep. And it just gets me excited for his off season as well, and making those improvements to his physique. I think long term for him, the goal is classic physique. So it will just be developing the lower body a little bit more as well. So yeah, going to get back to him once I've eaten this. And yeah, speaking of clients as well, I was actually having a conversation with Brian yesterday, and it always makes me laugh when coaches end up going to these shows, right? Which you should be at your client show. Coaches go to the shows, and the show ends up running late. The show ends up running until like 10, 11 p.m. And then the next morning, the coach will post up at the desk at 6 a.m. doing check-ins. It's like, isn't that your job? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? That's your job, bro. Imagine if you were working on a building site, or you were a nurse or a doctor, or you're an engineer. Like, what, just because you were at a bodybuilding show or you went out last night,
you just can't, you just don't show up at the same time at work. I don't get it. It's a job. This is your job. As much as it's an incredible job and is the world's greatest job. And I think because maybe it blends into people's hobby, like the gym is obviously a passion, but just it's still a job. Coaching is a job. It's not, oh yeah, I'll just kind of just do it whenever and wherever. No, not if you want to be consistent and really good. Anyway, mini ran over. Let me eat. All right, meal two. My God, feeling a little bit like hypo, shaky, low blood pressure feeling that you get in prep. I was planning on going for a walk, but I was like, let me actually get in a meal before I go for a walk. So pretty busy morning. As I said, I'd finished off editing the YouTube video, checked in with Pratik and checked in with Alex and also checked in with Reese this morning. Reese isn't on prep, but he is post-diet and it's the leanness that he's got in a diet. It wasn't contest lean, but he got pretty lean and managing that as well, post-diet as well, like just because you didn't get into contest shape, you're still going to have those feelings of hunger, those cravings. So we increased the frequency that we check in, gave him a little bit more food, and we set him some goals for the off season as well. So his objective really at the minute is just to grow, but to keep him kind of focused and to keep a goal in mind, we've set some goals with his lifts across the off season. So yeah, anyway, mobility also got done as well through GoWOD, so 10 minutes of mobility. But yeah, I'm going to eat this and get my damn blood glucose and blood pressure up a little bit. This meal, by the way, is 300 grams of cooked weight rice, only about 90 grams of chicken, cooked weight, 20 grams of sriracha, and then we got some salt in there and we got some black pepper. So I was going to go out for a walk, but realised that Bryony has both of the keys, so I can't go outside right now. The weather's not great, but I don't know if you can see that, but it's basically raining a little bit, right? But I still wanted to just get outside and get some fresh air, but can't make it happen right now. So we're on the walking pad, getting steps in, and honestly, one of the best investments that I've made has been this walking pad. I'm not gonna lie, it's it just makes my life so much easier. But you don't want to have this over reliance where you just never go outside. I was watching Andor whilst doing my steps. Currently still on season number 1, and it's really good. I'm not somebody who's typically into Star Wars. I'm not gonna lie. I think I went to go watch Revenge of the Sith when I was like 15, 16. But in terms of like episode 1 and episode 2, not really watched them. And I really feel like I should. I feel like it's one of those, it's obviously one of the GOATs. Whether or not you're a fan of sci-fi, it's a franchise to be respected. I think it's taken probably a bit of a downhill turn as of late, just from seeing content from creators and people's general reaction towards Star Wars these days. But still, I kind of, this is a really good show. And I've heard good things about season 2, and I'm excited to get stuck into it. So yeah, I feel like at some point I will just sit and watch basically the first few Star Wars movies. I've done the same thing with Lord of the Rings. Classics, right? This was when I was in sixth form, and I remember saying to one of my mates, I've never seen Lord of the Rings. He was like, excuse me? You haven't? Like, it's goated. I was like, okay, cool. So I literally watched 1 through 3, basically across 2 days. And yeah, unbelievable movies. Unbelievable. In fact, it's spurring me on to do it again. I feel like that would help time pass by real quick. But yeah, I'm just going to do my last 5 minutes on here. I definitely was very, very low blood glucose, like hypoglycemic, and blood pressure was low before having that meal. It's definitely picked up a bit now. But I'm noticing the impacts of less fats in in the meal. I feel like the food is just going, just, yeah, it's not really sticking as much, but that's okay. I think it's good that aside from this point, I imagine my food will go up tomorrow, probably by about another 100 gram of carb, maybe to about 550. We'll just end up seeing, but I definitely think the result once food does go up will probably be a better look for me, not having too high fats, but we'll see. Once I'm going to get off this treadmill, I'm going to take some photos, just do a round of posing, just to see what I look like by this time of the day. So I've taken in 3 liters of water, I've done 3.7k steps, and I've taken in a couple of meals. It's been about 180-ish grams of carbs, maybe slightly less total. So we'll see, but looking at my physique, I don't look full. My veins are still pretty depressed, but they're a bit hidden away. But it's to be expected. I'm only, 2 meals into putting in a bit more food than my baseline diet. So, yeah. And then before I have meal number 3, I've got to finish some content. So I'm going to start editing this video a little bit. I'm also going to brainstorm some ideas for Instagram content. And I need to... There was something else as well, which I've forgotten now. Education. So my education yesterday was more so focusing on peaking and gaining the perspective of the coaches. So I mentioned I watched a podcast that had Alberto Nunez and the whole 3D and Eric Helms and the 3DMJ team, and they were speaking about peak week and just getting their perspective, learning a little bit more. Today it's all about just managing my day-to-day as a businessman. So I'm going to spend about 45 minutes there. My mobility's been done, and that will be it for most of the day. And then honestly, I'll probably spend some time watching some more Andor. So and then in the evening, I'll be doing another round of posing. But I hope you are having a fantastic day, and I'll see you a little bit later. All right, meal 3, just like that. Look at that timing. It's going to be oats. So let me set this camera down and get to making them. But just got done with some education about marketing, and now we're going to eat. And then the other thing that I forgot I need to do is edit one of the reels that I made yesterday. So I made a few reels yesterday. Gonna edit one, post it on Instagram tonight. And yeah, the first daily vlog also dropped on my YouTube, and annoyingly there was an error at the start of the video for some reason. It's actually happened before, and I checked the video and I saw it before in an old video, and I was like, oh snap, yeah, let me quickly re-upload that. But this time, stupidly, I didn't check because the error message wasn't coming up when I was editing. I have no idea why it came up, but anyway, it's there now. I'm not gonna re-upload it. I'm not gonna think about it. I'm not gonna watch it. I'll let the people decide. Oats coming up. This meal is gonna be 100 grams of oats. I haven't seen 100 grams of oats in a while. With 10 grams of almond butter, 30 grams of honey. The whey is going to stay exactly the same at 60 grams. So same as what it normally is, JP. And we've got 50 grams of blueberries with that meal as well. So it's going to be the meal. We are using the old Jack Thorburn method for oats, which is you're basically, for every 100 grams of oats, you put 400 ml of water, mix, put it in the microwave 2 minutes, mix, put it in the microwave 90 seconds, mix, add your whey, mix really quickly, microwave it for a further minute, and then you can basically add water to get the desired consistency. So That's how we're making them. I took some photos as well after my steps, and the look is definitely a little bit better than this morning. I had to do it in slightly different lighting because the sun wouldn't be too generous at this point in the day. So it was done in different lighting. But regardless, I can see there's a little bit more life to my physique. The body weight was up, but ever so slightly. It was 94.3 kilos on the scale. So up, 0.6 kilos from this morning. And 94.3 for me is still very flat relative to how much body fat I've got off. So I won't probably start being really happy with the look until I start seeing 95s, 96s around there. But it's a start. It's a start, and things are moving in the right direction. I do feel good on lower fats as well, and I'll be interested to see what the look is tomorrow morning. Feels weird today as well, not being at my old job. Feels really strange, but enjoyable. I definitely feel like there's just this time, and it's just about filling it with work and just getting better at my job. Yeah, today's also not a big client check-in day. My big client check-in days are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I'm basically doing check-ins the entire day on those days. And then these days in the week are more like within kind of the business with emails and marketing and content creation and just learning more and being a better coach. And I do check in with my clients throughout the week, but it's not like the official check-in days, right? So 30 more seconds. There you have it. So the oats. Let's see if I can actually give you a decent look at these oats right here. So yeah, we got 100 grams there. I also had to make up the fats with some dark chocolate, so 4 grams of dark chocolate instead of some of the almond butter because I've ran out, so I'm gonna have to get some more tomorrow. But 100 grams of oats, we got 4 grams of dark chocolate, we have 4 grams of almond butter, we have 50 grams of blueberries, 60 grams of whey, and 30 grams of that delicious nectar called honey. Amazing. When you are going through the process of carbing up, you want to bear in mind that there's a delayed period of food impacting your look. So you don't take in food and then 10 minutes later you look bursting full, and that's the reason you look that way. It's kind of the same as if you're about to go on stage. If you're a competitor that's competed before, you'll know that before you go on stage, you'll see people like take in like a ton of rice cakes or a ton of honey like 5 minutes before they get on stage, and it's not really going to do much because there's a latency period. It's not like that food is just instantly going to cause an uptake in glycogen in your muscles and fullness. I think the only thing that can really work pretty rapidly is like shifting electrolyte balance. So things like sodium. So using salt pre-stage, for example, to get a bit of a pump, or even if you look at your pre-workout label, you'll probably see some sort of sodium in there as well. And that works pretty quickly. But when it comes to food, that process of digestion and then impacting your look, you more so want to think about what you've done the day before rather than right now when it comes to your fullness, which is exactly why you're probably going to need more than one day to fill out. Which why to me the rapid backload is so risky. It's so risky. It could work, but it's just so risky. And are you going to achieve maximum fullness? I don't know. It's hard to say, right? Like, it's so risky. So I feel like the approach I'm doing is a little bit more predictable. Anyway, I'm going to have this meal and then I'll see you for meal number 4. Meal 4, we got a bowl of Rice Krispies, 100 grams. With cinnamon, we have 2 bacon medallions and just 1 egg. So protein's pretty low. In this milk, we've also got 200 ml of semi-skimmed milk. So, Cocoa Pops or Rice Krispies? What'd you go for? If I could, I'd just put honey all over them, or golden syrup, and amazing. It's like the Squares bars. I prefer just the standard marshmallow ones over chocolate.
That's just me though. Just got done with a little bit of work. I have one more thing left to do today, and that'll be done within the next 30, 45 minutes. And I'm going to chill, watch a bit more Andor. I've got one more meal to eat, and that'll be it. So I'll show you that final meal, and then I'll probably get to also editing a touch more of this video for today, and then upload it tomorrow. To be honest with you, it's been so far so good. I might be speaking too early, but so far it's been all right. Things will get a little bit busier over the next few days. I booked my braids, so I'm getting my, damn, I sound like a lady right now. Got my hair booked, got my hair and makeup, because as I said, can't be wearing this on stage, right? And I'm gonna get a trim, my face, get shaped up on Saturday. Saturday? Yeah, I think Saturday. I should have booked Friday. And do you know why? Because you got to give the trim a couple of days to marinate. I don't know if I've made a bad call there, but I'm also gonna have to go to the food shop tomorrow, I think, or do a bit of a food shop, sorry, because I'm gonna be pretty low on food, and I know I'm gonna need more food. I can feel it. But yeah, so far today's been going smoothly. I can't complain. So anyway, I'll see you for my number 5. Right, people. Brian and I just have to go to the shops real quick. I thought that I needed a lot more, but as you know, the Friday food shop is coming up. That ain't changing. So it wasn't actually as much as I thought. It's literally just, nice one there, Elliot. Eggs and dark chocolate. That's basically it, because I ran out of almond butter this morning or after the oatmeal. So I need some sort of fat sauce, and there's not really anything else in the house, to be honest. So dark chocolate and eggs. I need the eggs for tomorrow and Thursday. Anyway, we're going to make meal number 5. So meal number 5 is going to be mince and rice to close out the day. Successful day, I think, so far. I'll be shocked if I don't need more food tomorrow. Definitely feel preppy today. I feel like there's just been a huge difference in terms of having a reduced amount of fat in my meals. And obviously just lower protein as well. It's just, you're not going to feel as satiated. And also bear in mind that my total calories from kind of my baseline food for the day is only up like 300 calories, 400 calories. So it's not that much more food than what I was having on training days. Just there's a lot more carbs, right? A bit more carbs. I think I said earlier, it feels, I was saying to Bryony on our way to Tesco, it feels strange today not going to another job. And I think with me now having the opportunity to coach full time and essentially be self-employed full time, I want to grab this opportunity by the balls and film content and coach really well, and just do not squander the opportunity. Really utilize the time. And honestly, so far, filming each day has been okay. And also being in front of camera, it just becomes so much more comfortable because I'm doing it more often. Whereas I think filming once a week, great, it's cool. But I think if you want a large amount of growth on social channels, I think if you can film more frequently, it kind of makes sense. So yeah, I really want to grab the opportunity by the balls and just go for it. Just go full bloody Sam Sulek mode, you know? Because also I think with YouTube, one of my main concerns has always been, people just don't find bodybuilding interesting, or people just they don't want to watch me train, or they don't want to watch me eat, they don't want to watch my day-to-day process. But I think that's bollocks, because people are interested in that. I think there's this idea that for you to do well on YouTube, or for you to get that attention or traction,
you have to do the viral, like Wall Tennyson and like the eating challenge videos, and I tried Jay Cutler's workout for like, and stuff like that obviously isn't going to be conducive to what I want out of bodybuilding, and it's not really what I do day to day. And I think a great example of somebody who just obviously showcases the in and out of bodybuilding is Sam Sulek. And I think he's just himself, but he posts every single day. And I think that matters as well. If I'm just going to post one video a week, I can't just post a push workout because obviously it's boring. And of course, your personality has to come across. But yeah, I just don't accept that I'm going to have to dampen myself down or dilute myself or make viral content to gain traction and improve on YouTube. It's just, I just refuse to do it. I just refuse to do that. I've obviously made a few videos. Like, I think one of the best performing videos I've made was the Ronnie Coleman diet video, and I tried the 10,000 calorie challenge and stuff like that. But that's not bodybuilding. That's not what I do. So, yeah, anyway, I think with me now being fully self employed, got to grab it by the balls and post a lot, a lot, because I think that's the name of the game, in my opinion. I don't know if this beef is smelling a bit funky. It shouldn't be because it's in date. I'll be fine. Yeah, I'll be alright. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be beef and rice. Not tons of rice. I think it's only about 225 grams cooked weight. Which is, yeah. It ain't no damn carb load. And once I've had this meal, I'm then going to take, well, after a while, just before bed, I'm going to take some photos and see what I look like. But I can't imagine that it'll really be anything very impressive. And also, I think my body weight will only be around 95 kilos. And then obviously tomorrow, same process. We wake up in the morning, we get the check-ins in. I have to get my car over to get a service tomorrow. It's booked in for tomorrow. And I've got my full body session tomorrow. So it's going to be a kind of a first attempt since my injury to train my legs. I'm a little bit nervous about, but just don't do anything stupid. It's not going to be a lot of volume. I'm also going to be going to the gym with Bryony and just getting in the session. It will only take 45 minutes. A little bit of legs, chest, back, shoulders, arms. Just touch it up, then rest the day after. But hopefully we get a little bit more fullness in that session and just get the legs a little bit touched up as well. I don't want to leave my leg training all the way until show day, because the last time I trained legs was Thursday, so it's like what, 10 days, 11 days, and I kind of want to have my leg training or at least touching the legs up a bit within a week of my show. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to finish cooking this meal because it's sizzling right now, damn, and then I'll see you once it's all ready. There she is. The person getting me the views. Oh, she's watching EastEnders with her newly found Mancunian accent. Oh, huh? All right. Final meal before I sign out. So 225 rice cooked, 95 grams cooked weight, mince, no sauce, 3 grams of salt. Really small meal, to be honest. This will definitely be bigger tomorrow. I feel flat and it's 8:15. Make sure you like the video. I'll see you tomorrow morning.